Welcome back to Have You Heard, the social media podcast by us here at The Social Shepherd. My name is Zoe. I'm one of the co-founders, and today I'm joined by
Lucy, influencer director.
and
Hannah, Creative Partnerships Manager.
thank you for joining me again, guys.
That's
Hello.
okay.
Lovely to have you back.
Nice to be here.
Little influencer slash creator dream team. Okay, well, we're here today because WPP recently published their this year, next year report. And one of the things that they talked quite heavily about was the impact of creators and UGC content and social in general. So we're going to get into that, and I'm going to kind of kick off by talking about some of the stats that they've mentioned in there. So, and I will flag to anyone listening to this is that some of these statements are a little bit confusing from the report, but we're going to unpick them together and try and decipher what they're actually trying to say. And I think a lot of it stems from, I think a lot of the words in social at the minute can kind of get misused and used in the wrong context and stuff like that. So we're going to try and get down to the bottom of it in this podcast. You guys have had a chance to have a quick glance through the report, correct? A little read. Lovely. Lovely. So what they said was more than half of content-driven advertising revenue will come from user-generated platforms such as TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram Reels in 2025, surpassing professionally produced content from studios and media companies for the first time, according to their statement. So I guess the reason why I say this is a little bit confusing is that just because it's coming from a user-generated platform doesn't mean it's coming from a user-generated source. But I guess naturally, because those platforms, TikTok, YouTube and Instagram Reels have a higher portion of user-generated content than you would expect to see on more traditional media forms, we can interpret that there's probably going to be a higher use of creators and influencers in there.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Is that a shock to you guys?
I mean, it's more like music to our ears in the
Yeah.
sense of like if it's surpassing traditional methods for content production, like higher production methods and everything, then that's obviously great for us because, yeah, Hannah looks after our UGC creator output. And I mean, I guess it kind of somewhat correlates to what we've been seeing, particularly more so in the last kind of 6 months or so, with the amount of kind of leads coming through for more UGC style content and everything across not just organic channels, which is where traditionally we've delivered content for, but more so for kind of paid and performance driven purposes and everything. Because I think brands are starting to clock onto the fact that actually you don't need to spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions, on really kind of glossy ad campaigns. You can get really great results, if not better, by that kind of UGC style content instead. So I think it kind of is marrying up to the sort of correlation we're seeing, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I still think there is a place for brand owned creative in there. And I think that's needed to make sure your brand is recognizable, to build up brand equity. But I will say that UGC content is going to perform better from a performance perspective on paid. And we just know that we've tested it. We know that it performs better.
Exactly. And it's that whole thing around driving trust with audiences and everything. And I think we actually used it in something the other day. It's like around about 80% of users say they trust a brand more when they use UGC or they share it or they use it in some sort of capacity, because it is that kind of point of traditionally it's person to camera or kind of POV sort of style, and it feels very kind of off the cuff, someone's just picked up their phone. It feels a lot more accessible and everything. And word of mouth, it's never gone away as a means of discovering something. It's just kind of a slightly more modern way of word of mouth, essentially, by working with kind of UGC creators and everything.
And I guess as well, do you think there's an increased amount of trust? Because even if it is we do it all the time where we have a UGC creator service managed by our lovely Hannah here. Where we might use UGC creators for brand owned content that exists on their socials. We might use UGC creators for SEO purposes to try and build up discoverability, and then we also use it from a paid perspective as well. So we will briefing creators with a specific product that, you know, is relevant to them. They will post it on their account, and then we will put paid spend behind that post and use it as part of our full funnel activity. But I guess, do you think there's more trust from consumers? Because if a UGC creator makes a claim, they would like to trust that creator, even if they are being paid for it, has a bit more integrity maybe than a brand might on some of the claims that they're going to make.
I guess so.
Yeah, I think it comes from like a level of authenticity as well, because this person to person, they're trusting that that person has used the product and therefore believes in it as well, and that's why they're saying what they're saying. But yeah, I think it does make a big difference when it comes from a creator.
Yeah, particularly if it is brand owned or obviously brand produced. There is just that assumption of like how much control has kind of gone behind that one piece of content or whatever it is. Whereas, okay, I think most people still are aware that if a brand has paid for a creator to do some content, there has been a level of control to it and everything. But I guess where the brand owned style of content and higher produced or higher production value content in particular has just been around slightly longer, I think there's more of an understanding of how that works, and that makes sense why there is that kind of slight disparity between like the levels of trust involved and stuff. But you are right, like there is still a place for brand owned content. There's a place for all of these sorts of things. It's just about doing things slightly differently.
And it's what it's for. Like,
Yeah.
I think if we look back to, like, if we talk about paid, for example, here, paid strategies years ago, you would always have like your middle of funnel content, which would be like a quote from like a Trustpilot review or something like that. And like, okay, there might still be a place for that in some places. But would you rather see the quote with a Trustpilot logo underneath it on top of a glossy image, or would you rather just hear someone say it to your face? And it's almost like if that's coming from someone and the ad is being run from their account, obviously paid for by the brand, that person does have to have a level of integrity associated with that claim that they're making.
For sure. And I think that's why, you know, Hannah, like, only speaks very highly of like all the relationships you have with the creators and everything. It's like, whilst obviously a lot of the content that those creators are producing is for the brand to be using, even our clients, they still expect there to be a level of like authenticity in what is being produced. I know, the most overused word. I would love to find out how many times that word has been used, like in podcasts and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think even for the creator too, like they still want it to feel somewhat natural to their own sort of content style. Like if they try something a bit different, it's a bit of a gamble, but it does still need to feel kind of like similar to their style and tone and everything. They're not like a mouthpiece, essentially, which is a really horrible way of phrasing it.
They're not an actor.
Exactly.
It's a different type of thing. Question, actually, how often do you get briefs turned down by creators or influencers?
Honestly, not very often.
Oh,
but
I
I
think
think
that's because you're being very careful about who you approach.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we take a lot into consideration when we're outreaching, and we try and match the brand with a creator in a way that feels authentic. But yeah, and 9 times out of 10, like, oh no, we've never had I don't think I've ever had a brief turned down.
But I think well, that's a testament.
That's a big
to you,
statement.
Because I guess like also from a client perspective, a client would never want an agency to just go scattergun and send out briefs to anyone, because then you end up, and creator circles are tight, so you don't want to end up like, oh yeah, they sent me that brief, and you don't. There is like a PR piece to be done here amongst those creator circles too. So, well done, Hannah.
Thank you.
It's different for influencer.
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
Yeah. I know. Well, just because you think that I think brands. Oh, I don't mean to poo-poo on marketers in any shape or form, but there is we have this conversation all the time, Lucy, about people thinking, oh, that person looks like our audience, or they look like someone who would, like, if it's like a travel brand, like go on one of our trips. But if you're using an influencer for their influence, what you should be more concerned about is the influence they have over your target audience, not necessarily them being a member of your target audience.
Precisely. I shared an example in our team session earlier by the brand Oisho. and they just did a campaign for like International Yoga Day, and they featured an 102-year-old yoga instructor whose name I can't remember, God bless her, but it was just this beautiful campaign, not UGC style actually. So this is a good example of where brand owned content does still have a place, but they used her. And I mean, I don't know what Oysho's target audience is. I also hope I'm saying that brand name correctly. But I'm assuming there's a slightly younger appeal compared to, say, people who are in their 90s and, wow, in their hundreds and everything. But there's still kind of relevance of partnering with someone like her, because she still inspires a particular sort of audience and everything, and all her wisdom and her experience and how she's still kind of at it doing yoga and practicing and all this kind of stuff. Like, for that target audience, that really connects with them, and it's quite inspiring sort of content.
It's also more creative. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're just going after people, like, yeah, you're the exact same demographic. Yeah, your feed looks the exact same as our social feed. Like, there's not really, that isn't indicative that you have a very old school approach. Sorry, I'm absolutely rinsing some people here. Maybe, but that indicates that you don't really understand the level of creativity that we can go to on social here. And it is more so you're working with an influencer for their influence. So let them influence.
Exactly. I was going to say, do you feel when it comes to working with creators, they too need to represent the target audience? Are you finding that you have to kind of match up target audience with the type of creator, or do you feel like there's a level of flex?
Try and have like a variety, because obviously the majority of creators are a younger demographic as well, and that's something we've obviously got to keep in mind. But yeah, we do try and have a bigger creator pool that represent the majority, just because that does help with relatability.
And you've got different creator pools for different clients.
Yes.
Because I think it depends on what you're trying to do. Because if you're trying to do a performance asset, like we have a hair care brand, for example, when you're doing paid and you're doing more of like this product is a solution to a problem that you may face, so you're focusing your creative on personal relevance. It needs to be personally relevant to the viewer, so that means that it needs to be personally relevant to the person that's doing the content. Yeah. So it depends on the like if you're trying to get a creator to, I don't know, go into a store and film some fun piece of content that's like a brand awareness piece, that's very different to leaning on performance marketing that needs to be like product solution. Does that make sense? Yeah. So they're like the use of UGC like has just completely expanded as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, and this is something that we do a lot of work on internally and are still working on, but like UGC creators genuinely touch every single channel that we manage within this business. And by channel, I mean organic, well, realistically paid, earned and owned. They touch our paid media team. Like you guys utilize them for performance campaigns. Obviously, influencers are creators at the end of the day. So there's a lineup there. You also have things like seeding and affiliate programs that creators can tap into. And then you've got the organic side of things where you're using them more as like talent and a creative to create brand owned stuff. So like there's truly a broad spectrum going on. And it probably leans into why we're sort of seeing all this kind of happen, because interestingly, there's a stat here that broad, but around 61 to 69% of consumers trust recommendations from social media influencers more than they trust brand advertising. Do you guys, is that something, is that shock or is that?
No, again, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you do often hear those quotes where it's like more and more people aren't trusting influencers anymore and everything. But I'd say generally, like compared to that brand owned style content, it's that relatability point, and it's coming, like people want to see other people just like them through all mediums. And so, with influencers, obviously there's so many different types of influencers out there that, having someone who you really look up to in a sense, or that you really relate to, or whose recommendations that you really rate and everything, it makes a lot of sense that that's resonating far more with audiences. And particularly, like, I mean, I know it's such like a small thing to an extent, but you know, you take comparisons between when we produce content organically for our brands to use compared to when we brief an influencer to produce it. Like the engagement rate is often far, far higher when you work with an influencer compared to what like a BAU organic engagement rate can typically be in everything, just purely because they as an individual, they have their own community. They know how to create content that really, really resonates with that particular audience. It feels far more believable. I'm not going to say authentic. Like it does just make a lot more sense. Well, it does make a lot of sense generally with kind of what we typically
I think
see.
it works best like if you're talking about like traditional influencer collaborations where you're not going for like a performance metric or something. Like when you let them get like truly creative, like do you know my biggest pet hate is the ads where it's like, I've been really struggling with my acne recently, so I've been using this.
Dreadful.
And it's like awful,
In the
terrible, like terrifying.
Don't even post it.
No, I'm sad. But I think it's when people can get creative. Like people are like people want to be entertained, and like I think particularly when we're talking about platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff, and there's a place for your more salesy things like your stories where you can put your codes in them. That's what people expect whenever they're there. Like use the media forums for what people expect. When I'm in the Reels feed, I expect to be entertained. I don't expect to have this hard sell thrown at me.
I mean, don't I know it was some of the things you've sent me.
I know. But when I'm looking at stories, I'm like, yeah, take me away from the app. I'll go have a look at that little skirt that I like. So it's being, and again, we're using the word, we need to ban it, like, but authentic to what people expect to see in those spaces. Yeah, sorry, that's my TED talk on it. I have a question for you both. Can you make a guess as to how many TikTok videos are uploaded daily across the globe?
What?
A lot.
I'm looking
Millions.
at Hannah like, go on.
20 million.
Okay, 20 million.
Oh my goodness. Across the globe.
Oh, probably more than that. I'd go higher.
I'm going to say like 1 billion. Oh, it's
Maybe
not
not that
high.
Come on, Lucy.
Oh, sorry. Oh, don't. So embarrassing. Cut.
No, it's 34 million videos are uploaded to TikTok daily, which translates to 272 videos being posted every second.
Can they
Wow.
have that dubbed over this?
No, it's fine, okay? And then Instagram.
Lower.
Do you think?
Do you not?
Well, I feel like it's got a higher...
So let's go for don't include
Use
stories,
space.
but just photos and videos shared to feed.
What was TikTok? 35? 34 million. Okay, I'm going 50 million. Why
I'm
did I
gonna
say
go
that weirdly?
20 again.
Okay, she loves 20. Was that your favorite age?
Yeah, maybe. Throwback.
It's 95 million photos and videos
Oh,
shared daily
wow.
on Instagram, and in addition to this, 400 million people use the Instagram stories feature daily.
Wow.
Isn't that insane?
Posting to Instagram stories. Wow.
Oh,
Or is it just checking stories?
so it does not mean they're all posting daily. Here's what it actually means. There are 400 million daily active users of stories. So only 10 to 20% of users actively post stories regularly. So that's what, like 40 to 80 million stories a day.
Wow, that's
still
still
a lot,
really
though.
high.
That's still a lot, yeah. But I think it's just like the sheer amount of content that is being created on these platforms is insane. But it is interesting though, because I think, and I'd like to get your perspective on it too, because there are many more people viewing TikToks in proportion. The general public posts on Instagram, whereas I feel like you have to have a bit more confidence to post on TikTok. It's not quite there yet from like a day-to-day people just posting on
Yeah.
it. There's more voyeurs.
I feel like it was though, to begin with.
Do you reckon?
Well, like back in like the TikTok dancing days.
Yeah, but it's pretty ballsy, like to put a video up of yourself dancing, whereas it's much easier to post a picture of your sandwich on your Instagram story.
I know what you're saying though, in the sense of almost when TikTok first came out, and it just kind of felt like, well, this is so much
It was,
fun,
like,
and you can
silly.
just post anything, and there was just like no judgment involved in what you were posting, which made it a lot of fun. I think now where it's got to, there probably is a bit more like ego involved, isn't there? Where people are quite precious about what they're posting. But I even said it to Maria the other day. I was like, I feel like TikTok still is quite a playful place where you can kind of just still just like post whatever and like not feel, because say like not all your friends and family are following you on there, so you just don't feel as much judgment, which is so sad. But I don't know what we were saying.
I still think there's more voyeurism on that platform.
True.
Than there is, yeah.
It's quite a passive platform.
Yeah, a very like doom scrolly platform. Whereas like on Instagram, you expect to see updates from your friends, and people that you know, type thing.
Sure.
Like if you got engaged,
Yeah,
you'd post that to Instagram.
It's a bit
before
more,
you'd post it. TikTok.
Yeah, it's a bit more accessible. Like I guess people still probably look at TikTok and think, oh, I need to know how to edit videos or something, and it's quite intimidating for the average. I say the average person, but
how do we feel about the fact that TikTok is looking at rolling out a Carousels only either feed or separate
I've
app?
got it.
You've got it.
I've got it.
oh, you
got it yet.
Yeah, I've got it.
You showed me.
Exclusive user, a chosen one. Is this completely different
I
to
really
Lemonade?
like it.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like oh sorry, my TikToks are playing now. Explore. There we go.
Exclusive.
Oh no, I do have that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Complete life.
It's like a Pinterest feed.
It's like a Pinterest
Yeah.
feed.
Wait, so explain a carousel only.
app. I believe that's what I heard.
Sorry, I completely misunderstood what you were saying.
She just
then.
wanted to show off the fact that she's a chosen
I've got
tester.
exclusive TikTok.
Yeah. Like, do we think that TikTok doing more? Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because would you say that the majority of stuff that you guys do from an influencer perspective is like still or motion? Is it video or?
Oh, it's very video
heavy.
Yeah. But because I guess it's that whole thing that came about a few years ago with like the rise of photo dumps, which has become a really popular format on Instagram. And then when you could do photo carousels on TikTok, again, that slightly feels a bit more accessible from like a creating content perspective, where it's just a bit more, it's simpler than having to edit a video or something. So I think there is definitely, you always see some people who are on TikTok who just post carousels on there.
It's me.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
But it just feels a bit more like lower entry to have to. No, is it?
Mean.
I didn't mean for it to come across that way. But it just feels a bit more like. Yeah.
How dare you
I'm
disrespect my
sorry.
TikTok
No, but
content?
like there is still like what I'm trying to say is it's not as complex to an extent.
I get what you
mean,
mean.
I don't know if when you edit a reel or a TikTok, it's a pain in the bum.
No.
Yeah.
Do you know what I will say though is that like it depends on the industry that you're in, but I've seen a couple of like the cool girl fashion brands where they'll collaborate with an influencer on one of their photo dumps, and like the sixth slide in, there'll be like a little tag in there, and it's like, oh, like we're here, but we're not like pushing this down your throat type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's quite rare to find marketing managers that are willing to be so non-sales. Like, I think it's a good tactic for some of those brands that like kind of if you know kind of vibes. It's very purposeful from there, which I think is really nice.
When's this app coming?
I don't know. Just heard it on the rumor mill. Yeah, soon. Okay. One of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about was other platforms like Pinny, for example. And, I think Insta and TikTok have really dominated over the last couple of years. Insta's been dominating for ages. And like Pinterest is kind of like the slept on platform, I personally think. Pinterest and influencers, is there a... Tell me.
Yes, this is what I was going to mention. So LTK, who are the kind of like influencer affiliate program, they have just rolled out, or they've partnered up with Pinterest. So I believe, I'm sure there's nuance to this, but if you post to LTK, your content automatically goes onto Pinterest. Whether it's LTK's Pinterest or not, I'm not too sure, but there's some sort of connection where your content's kind of going out there a lot more, because I guess there is this increase in using UGC or influencer style content on Pinterest, particularly from an advertising or a paid perspective, that's working really, really well, because when you've got TikTok, that's a passive platform where you're passively scrolling, whereas Pinterest being more you're intentionally searching for inspiration, then the conversion, in theory, from kind of seeing a piece of content, you know, like a UGC style ad promoting a product or something, you would think would technically be slightly higher, because I guess you're somewhat like seeking out that sort of content or something.
It is a higher converting,
Yeah.
platform, even from an organic perspective. I think it would be really cool, and we might start to see it, because we're seeing a little bit of like taste makers. So like people, like influencers and creators, and they might not even be that large in terms of their following, but like you'll look at, and like I know that there'll be certain like fashion creators, for example, that I'll be like, oh, they dress really well. Like I can go to them and look for like holiday inspiration, and like that. I could see it almost being a way where you follow their Pinterest boards, for example, and you look at it from that, and it might be that like a brand might sponsor a specific Pinterest board, like that has certain like SEO keywords in it for like winter fashion coming up and things. I could really see that would be smart.
That's a really good campaign idea, Zoe. You should.
Sorry, free advice.
Yeah, I know, right? Free idea.
pics.
Watch someone go and do that now. But it made me think of someone like, again, it's probably somewhat free advice, someone like Matilda B, who is very kind of a very particular type of aesthetic. It's this very like colourful, no. But it's like all these like elaborate like hosting kind of dinner party type kind of content, and like beautiful house, and it's all very Pinterest style and everything. Someone like her, where she has such a specific aesthetic, that would be such a great campaign idea for her. We should cut this out, because someone's going to steal that, and then
don't steal our ideas.
Yeah,
well,
rude.
at least credit us.
Exactly.
If you do, okay?
Take us up with you when you win all the awards.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was about to say then.
Yeah,
Ignore me.
I personally just think there's such an opportunity for creators on there, and I think we will start to see it. But it's like one of my favorite places to go scroll is Pinterest.
I absolutely love Pinterest.
Yeah, and I think because it's not. I mean, there's ads now. I think because of where the feed design is, just from like an eye perspective.
Yeah.
It feels like much less like. And you don't get the I have had acne. So like
Exactly.
it's a cleaner experience. And you know what you're going there for. You're going there for visual inspiration.
Precisely. And I would say a lot of the ads that you get now on Pinterest, not all of them, but a lot of them that, you know, they're obviously being advised correctly in terms of how to design the ads and everything, because they do just fit in well with your Pinterest feed, that your kind of your home feed and everything, not in the sense of like you just don't notice it, but it just kind of works a lot better with the
it's kind of giving like Instagram 3 years ago, in the sense that you used to get told like blend in, whereas now on social, where we have like reels and TikToks, it's all about like how do you disrupt, so how do you pull someone out of that passive scroll and make them want to stay, whereas on Pinterest you're very much in the how do I still look like a consumer from this perspective. I think it's a great platform, and actually, from a paid POV, we have, we can bleep the name out, but they are Pinterest first with their paid media, and they spend the bulk of their budget.
I think I've seen
Yeah, and they absolutely smash it from there. I mean, a particular industry that is completely rife for Pinterest. But I think that it is underrated in a lot of ways.
Definitely. I'm pretty sure I actually bought a pair of trainers because of Pinterest. They did an influencer campaign. So Nike did an influencer campaign on Pinterest, and their retargeting strategy was just excellent. And I bought that pair of trainers, and they're a great pair of trainers.
I don't understand. Like, so, like I know a lot of brands. Like Pinterest is low lift from an organic perspective. Like we have clients that are getting like 10 million monthly views, and they haven't touched their account in 10 months. Granted, I'm not recommending that. Okay, if you're getting 10 million and you haven't touched it in 10 months, imagine what you could be getting if you actually did touch it. Okay, but like, there'll be brands on there, I'm like, just do something on it. Like, it's low lift. Like, you don't have to be creating all of this new content. Like, you can use your brand assets on there. I mean, whack UGC in there, provided you got permission, of course, but put it in there, and also like get your product feed uploaded. Like, there's no reason to not be doing these things. And if you're doing it, it's bad marketing. Okay.
You tell them. But particularly where it is such like the style of content you get is very UGC sort of style. It's a very particular type of aesthetic, or it is at least on my Pinterest at the very least. Like, it is just a no-brainer to be integrating or looking to develop more of a UGC strategy for Pinterest, or being a bit more tactical with, particularly if you're getting a lot of like earned UGC or something. I don't know. I think there is so much potential for it.
Completely agree. And I think it's such an intent-based platform as well that like it is the highest converting organic platform that there is. Again, attribution is difficult. We get that from an organic POV, but because people are going there with the intent to look for something very specific, it's just great. And then we get into the whole thing of it's a search platform, not a social platform. Like, I know, but social is search these days.
Yeah, it all blends into one, doesn't it?
It really, really does. What else? What have I missed anything on your notes, Lucy Lou?
No, I've covered it. Basically.
Oh, one thing we actually haven't talked about is all of the creator documentaries and stuff that's coming out on like streaming platforms.
Are we talking about one in particular?
Which one are you going to talk about?
Have you seen, is it Josh Peters? Is that his name?
Yeah, from Made in Chelsea.
Oh no. What's his name? Or is it Peterson? The guy who's doing the Brit YouTube crew documentary.
Oh, for
what's his name? I thought it was Josh Peters.
Pieters. I actually have. I know the rest of the people that you're referring to, like Casper Lee and all of that kind of lot, but I haven't seen this dude before.
Yeah, we were all sharing it. Yeah.
But I guess I was more so talking about like Mr. Beast and Prime Video, Molly May and Prime Video.
The more commonly known.
Wow. Sidemen and Netflix. Mm-hmm. We've also they're not really traditional creators because they came from reality TV, but Jamie Lang and Sophie Haboon.
I was going to mention this. Yeah.
Like, I personally think we're going to see a huge rise in this, and it will kind of move into this new realm of influence because I do think that we're going to have more interactive shopping experiences within streaming. I think you'll be able to like pause your Netflix show and it'll like you'll be able to, on Pinterest, whenever you can like hold your finger over a product and it tells you, I think you'll be able to do that, and it'll be like, what is this bag that Emily in Paris is wearing, and it will bring you like other ones and you can be like, bye.
You're giving away all the good ideas today.
Zoe.
You need to keep these
Maybe this needs to go on Patreon as well. Patreon exclusive with all your ideas.
No, that's not an idea. That's a prediction. That is going to happen. We will have shoppable streaming services in the next 3 years.
But don't they have that with YouTube where like a QR code's there and you can scan it and something?
If an ad comes up.
Yes, if an ad comes up, but I think it will be more ingrained.
Yeah, I agree.
Into the content.
That still feels too like, gotta get my phone out. I'm not like, it's the experience.
Yeah, like like if you're watching a TV show, like imagine if we had it when they were like doing Gossip Girl, and you could be like, oh, love that dress that Blair is wearing, and you were just like, boop.
That'd be great.
All of the similar dresses at different price points.
I do love that feature with Pinterest though, where like
all the time.
So many things I'm like, where is that from? Or you can even do it on Google, to be fair, where you like upload the image and then you can find it.
Google's too boomer for me.
Yes, yeah, all right. Well, sometimes when Pinterest doesn't do it right, Google comes to the rescue.
But do we think that like we're going to see more of this? I mean, yes, ultimately.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think that whole Jamie Lang, Sophie Haboon, Disney Plus thing. Yeah. I mean, you were quite proudly saying you're a Disney Plus subscriber, so you will be watching.
Tuning in. I will. I just think it gives people like, I know they're obviously already like sharing content on YouTube that gives you that kind of like behind the scenes insight into their lives. But I feel like even with like the Molly May documentary, everybody tuned into that because they wanted to know what was going on behind the scenes.
That's because of Molly and Tommy.
I know, but they've got you hooked. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, that was a very, very clever PR campaign.
I guess because that's obviously going to be filmed by people are following them around, and that's how these little like documentaries are being filmed.
I guess is there maybe like less control for the creator then?
Yes, it's kind of like
it's more produced.
It's like a different insight.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly, and it's kind of like, is there something? Are you going to see a different side to them because it's not them controlling the narrative as heavily and controlling the angles and lighting and what have you? I don't know, but
yeah, it's interesting, and it's also like these because it's kind of happening for influencers, I would say, at this point in time. It's almost like they're graduating from your more traditional shows, and it realistically it is streaming platforms which in the end, realistically, you're going to see the likes of the BBC and ITV and all kind of tap into this in your more traditional ones. But streaming platforms acknowledging the fact that these creators quite often are getting better viewership than
Yeah.
cable TV
It's
is.
like the new reality TV, basically.
Exactly. So I think it's just a natural evolution of media at this point.
Yeah, precisely.
And then hopefully it also creates a bit of space for other creators to kind of come up through the ranks.
I
What are
have
you
a
gonna
question.
say? Oh God, what are you gonna say?
Do you know what it's gonna be?
No.
Would you ever do the Social Shepherd documentary?
Can you imagine?
It'd be terrifying. Oh God, I don't think anyone has any interest to see that. Okay, it would just be me being like, I'm confused. Like our company Slack channel. Just.
Do you remember though, a few years ago, I think it was Misguided, they had a Channel 4 documentary all around
They got
it.
absolutely rinsed.
Yeah.
Because they had I'm so sorry, I don't mean to be mean here, but I think it was the voiceover. Everyone was like,
Oh, I
what was
can't
going on?
remember.
Like it was like this really thick Mancunian accent. And it almost came across, it wasn't necessarily the accent or that, but it was the language that they were using. They were being very like slay queen. Like,
Oh, yeah.
And it was just a bit like they were trying so hard. It was kind of giving like Disney millennial trying to relate to a Gen Z.
Got you. Yeah, throwback. All right,
Yeah,
well, the Social Shepherd Netflix series will maybe not come
soon.
soon.
One as well. Remember that?
Yes, and I feel like there was another one not too long ago, something similar. Maybe not about a retailer. Maybe it was about an agency.
Was it Be Perfect? There was that BBC series, and they actually did that. So that whole thing was they were supposed to do like 1 to 2 episodes per company, and they did an agency in Glasgow as well, a small agency.
Yes, yeah, that was it.
But yeah, you're right. Like it is our new reality TV.
I know it's wild. It's wild, but
I
cool.
love on social now. It's like when people like you'll be like scrolling and like someone asks you a question, you're like, shh, I'm watching my show.
And yeah, that's a good
Watching
trend.
a show.
Have you not seen that?
Wait, no. What?
When you're like say I don't know who do you, like you I don't know watching something talking about Lady Gaga or something like that on TikTok, as you probably do, and like say your partner was like, oh Lucy, and you'd be like, shh, I'm watching my show.
I see what you mean. Yeah, it's all just you get so like stuck in that world, don't you? And it's like you need that. I actually commit to a specific time in the evening to just be in my little
What's your time?
bubble. Oh, like 10:30.
Okay.
10:30 till about 11:30. I'm just on my phone.
That's past my bedtime. If I'm not asleep, then something great. Do you know? I don't know if I should argue like this, but sometimes when Lucy's falling asleep, she accidentally sends.
I've
me
heard
stuff on
about this.
TikTok.
Thank you. Wait. Oh, about me.
Yeah.
Oh, right. No,
I'm
right.
sure this was on the last podcast we were on.
She'll
probably
send me like it'll be like a
was.
cleaning video, and I'll
Yeah, I
be
know.
like, "Oh, Lucy, I hope you've
You need to go to bed.
Sleep.
Yeah.
It's really weird. There's right.
Do you do it to anyone else?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was special. for a
TikTok, if you are watching, please stop with this feature. Basically, if you are, right, I'm going to have my phone and just pretend. I'm actually going to get TikTok up and kind of show you, turn my phone off airplane mode because I'm filming, not Pinterest. TikTok, right? I am going to expose myself with whatever comes up first. Not that video, not that video. Okay, there's a cat. So, right, I'm in bed, I'm watching, and my thumb is obviously on my phone, but then that window pops up, and what can happen is if my thumb is like too close down to the bottom of the screen, it sends it to whoever is there. So,
Why are you keeping your phone on the screen? Like I flick like that, and then my thumb comes up.
oh, I'm like, well, when I'm falling asleep, like I think my grip must tighten on my phone. I know.
Okay.
But I remember coming across a TikTok video ages ago of an influencer saying she was experiencing the exact same thing, like she was doing the same thing, and so many people were like, me too. So help us.
Like,
Okay.
I keep sending my colleagues weird emails.
Yes, it's awful. Some of the things I've sent, I'm like, why is that even appearing on my FYP? It's like mortifying.
Because you keep sending them to
I
people.
know. There was one I sent you once about like, becoming a social worker. And you were like,
And I was like,
I
okay,
didn't
new
know.
career. I was like, Lucy, is this something we're going to talk about? Yeah. Like,
I was like, I don't know why this is there, but anyway.
oh dear. Right, we have actually digressed. So we're gonna finish with one sort of question is, what does actually no, that I'm not gonna ask you that question. So the headline of this kind of topic was, are creators and social going to take over traditional media? What would your response be to that?
Yes.
I would say they already have.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, agree. I
already
think
there.
there's no stopping it. It's
Yeah.
like a
Natural
it's a
progression.
natural evolution, exactly.
Yeah. But then, like, define traditional media. Like, everyone gets really confused. Like, are we talking newspapers? Are we talking TV, for example? Like, at some point,
I'd say it's more so things around like entertainment.
Yes.
Because it is a form of entertainment. So it's your TV
yeah.
in particular.
But also, I think you've got creators and influencers intercepting more traditional things that we've just talked about with streaming, and I think that will only just continue. And at the end of the day, people are going to go where the attention is, and if the attention's on influencers and creators, then it's going to stay there.
I mean, sorry, but look at Addison Rae, who is now, you know,
God, here we
an
go.
international
First
pop star.
severance.
You know, she's you know about to perform at Wembley Stadium, opening for Lana Del Rey. So you know she's gone from her
Are you
dancing
gonna try and
TikToks.
go?
No, I'm not going to Wembley Stadium again. I was there the other week. It was a nightmare.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
you had fun though.
Yeah, I had a great time. It was good.
Okay. All right. So in short, the answer to the question is yes, it already has happened. Influencers and social are taking over traditional media. Influencers are intercepting it, and social media in general has more eyeballs on it traditionally. So if you're not there, get there. Case closed. Okay. Thank you for everyone that has watched, listened, consumed this podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe and click all the buttons and leave us a comment if there's anything that you would like us to cover. We really, really appreciate it. And thank you again.